What's goody? What's goody? How we feeling, y'all? Back like we never left. Little throwback. Hey, how y'all feeling, man? How y'all feeling? It is Thursday. The 24th. 11:47 is out. We gonna get to it. Boy, you know we gotta have our pleasantries. 10 minutes a yap. So, you know, when it's 10 minutes, y'all let me know. Yo, better Critical, join fam, appreciate you, Critical. Mike Hiru highlights, join fam, appreciate you, my G. Freddie Jones, my guy, Freddie. What's happening? And Finks, join fam. What's up, and Finks? Dreamy. What's happening, Dreamy? Nick, 22. Assemble. So let's go, Brago. Happy Thursday. It's a beautiful day. Today's NFL draft as well. Beautiful, beautiful day, man. Yeah, TCB ain't playing. What's been going on in the world? I mean, the main thing, bro. You know what, Zushi? What's up, TD? What up, Jets? Who the Saints looking to get? They starting to project Jackson Dart going top 10. So I don't think we should get a quarterback. I think we get weapons if weapons are there. That's what I think we should do. I'm doing good, Dream. Doing really good, bro. Playoffs so far has been really good. Playoffs so far has been great. Hopefully Jimmy Butler's okay. The only series that's been bad has been the Thunder and Grizzlies. And even that has had its moments. But so far, I like the playoffs. It's scrappy. I wish the regular season was like this, Let them play a bit more, less ticky-tack. I mean, what the playoffs has let me realize is that Jalen Brunson, he's a foul baiter. Like, he's really a foul baiter. And the NBA got to change, bro. The NBA got to like, playoff basketball should be regular season basketball, and they should up it up even more in the playoffs. They should make it even more physical in the playoffs. Heat and Cavs, I love watching the Heat and Cavs. Probably my favorite series to watch because they score in a variety of ways. And I don't think I've ever said this, but Donovan Mitchell is one of my favorite players to watch in the NBA. Like top 5. Might be higher. I love Donovan Mitchell's game. From the mid-range, attacking the basket, his pull-up three. And also with the Heat, it's a lot of mid-range, it's a lot of actions. So the Heat and Cavs series is like really great to watch. Darius Garland has one of the deepest bags in the league. So I love watching that series. Sinners. I watched Sinners. I'm gonna do a review on it. I should have did a review. I watched it like 3 days ago, something like that. Sinners, a very interesting movie. I really enjoyed it. I feel like Sinners is it's so much you can take away from it. I'm not gonna lie, bro. I was in the theater and I was a little uncomfortable. Like, I'm like, bro. Okay. I think the only thing I'm gonna say about it, right? The only thing I'm gonna say about it that I kind of like, that made me just, I was like, all right. It's like, it's how many people around you that lead you astray and you follow them just because they're a familiar face. Even when you know better, right? Like, you know better, and because it's a familiar face, they're leading you to your death, and you still like, I mean, they're not gonna lead me down the wrong path, right? So that was like a very interesting thing to just see play out, right? I'm not gonna spoil the movie, but Sinners is a good movie. I plan on doing a review on it. Season 5 was last night? We got a binges with you. I've seen the entire U journey. I know season 5 came out last night. Ah man, yo, shout out to Stan Waffles of the 10th. Appreciate you, Stan. I appreciate you, my G. Yeah, hey, yeah. Oh yeah, I love you. Yeah, I'm a you guy. But shout out to Stan Waffles. You get gifted. Just say thank you. You know what I'm saying? Just a thank you. We all so relatable to you. I'm not gonna say that. I'm not gonna say I'm a stalk every girl that I date and like find out where they live, their job, their history. That's crazy. Quickly on Shannon Sharpe because we're approaching that 10-minute yap mark. Listen, man. There's nothing wrong with the bunnies. All right? There's nothing wrong with the bunnies if that's what you into. You know what I'm saying? Peace and love. Love who you love. But it kind of feel like Shannon Sharpe is too old for this. Now, hear me out. There's nothing wrong with doing what you do. All right? Nothing wrong with doing what you do. But, you know, I feel like Shannon Sharpe is like somebody that just came into money and now he has access to women he didn't have access to before and he's losing his mind. And Shannon Sharpe been like that guy since the 90s. I'm like, what we doing? You should. But I think what it is, Shannon Sharpe been famous, but he hasn't been this famous, right? Where like now the Instagram models know who he is. So now they swiping up on him. Like, what's up, Unc? What's up? You gonna fly me out? And this newfound attention, Shannon don't know how to handle it. And there's a clip that popped up where Shannon was talking about Sky Bree, and he loved the snow bunnies. He loved the snow bunnies. That's his thing. And now, I believe Shannon's from somewhere in the deep south. And I'm gonna say this, like, it's probably like kind of beating into him to stay away from white women. And maybe because of that, now he wanna go for everything they told him not to. But he loved him some young white girls. You know what I'm saying? Now, here's the thing. When this first came out, I was like, all right, she just going for like, you know what I'm saying? But she's spinning it though, right? She's spinning it real well. I'm talking about like the audio they're releasing. She got Unc saying, big black man chokes small white woman. I'm like, why would you say that? How comfortable did she make you? And then she said, Shannon, I didn't want you to put it in my no means no, Shannon. And then he gonna be like, can I call you later? Come on, bro. Like, I don't think he did it. I think it's a shakedown, but I ain't gonna lie. How she's spinning it right now, she might get some money. I don't know if she's gonna get 50 million. She might get some money, right? Because she's spinning it real well. Unc, you got no better. That's crazy. But we had 10 minutes. Y'all. That's crazy. That's crazy, Shannon. Like, you gotta have like, and then you texting her all casually. Like, was that your girlfriend? You big 50. Like, she a slide. Treat her like a slide. I ain't texting you. Ain't no conversation. It's like Shannon, she 20, 21, 20. What the hell? Why are you even texting? Hey, pull up. Bye. Same time. Ain't no all this back and forth and like Shannon, I don't know, man. She was 19 at the time. That's like, and that's a little, you know what I'm saying? Considering how old Shannon is, it's like my daughter 19 and it's Thanksgiving, she pull up with Shannon Sharpe. I'm like, he help you with your tire? What's going on? What Unc doing here? What is old ass nigga? I don't know, man. Like I said, what you do in your private time, as long as it's legal, it's his business. But now it's out in the open. Everybody's gonna judge. You know, obviously, you know, they're saying Shannon like to go up in the tutor a little bit. You know what I'm saying? And he did it forcefully. I don't know. That's allegedly. You know what I'm saying? And they're saying a tape about to drop. And I don't know what's on that tape. But Shannon came out preemptively and he was like, what you about to see on that tape? Don't believe that. That's not the full story. Shannon, what was you doing on that tape? It can't just be regular. You know what I'm saying? It can't just be regular. He was doing something on that tape that you gotta warn us? Like, bro, let's be honest. You drop a tape, if it's just regular, like, all right, man, it dropped. Coming out and warning us, say, hey, that ain't the whole story. What were you doing on that tape, Shannon? I don't know. Hey, yo, Nikos, Jordan Fammer, I appreciate you, my boy. Said Dono and Brago watches the tape live. Watching the tape live is crazy. 30 seconds. Shannon say, but Shannon's so crazy. Shannon was like, released the whole tape, not just the 30 seconds. For 30 seconds, Shannon was doing something nasty. I ain't gonna lie, bro. I ain't gonna lie. Don't tell me she had you holding your ankles, Unc. Because did y'all read the text message? Hey, all right, man. Let's get to the chapter, bro. Yo, Alan. Jonathan Major's like, whew. Now we can release magazine Dreams without any scandal. Thank you, Shannon. Right? All right. One Piece, chapter 1147. What do I think about Ant getting fined $50K for saying he has a big schlong? You can't let everybody know that. The league don't want that out there. You know what I'm saying? But I think it's because the camera picked it up and because like kids could possibly be sitting in the front rows. He just gotta have a bit more class. That's what the league want. But you want everybody doing that. You know what I'm saying? And honestly, the league trying to protect him because everybody know that. Now all of a sudden he got like 3 more paternity. Like, you don't want that. I don't mind him talking smack, but you just gotta be more. You gotta be a bit more eloquent. I don't think you should get fined, to be honest. Maybe a little warning, but either way, man. One Piece chapter 1147. Cover art. Is that Sakamoto? Yeah, that's Sakamoto. That's Taro. Ooh. Nice. What's happening, Charles? How you feeling, man? How you feeling? I think I told y'all last chapter, but now reading Sakamoto Days, I stand with the manga readers saying that the anime fumbled. I don't think the anime is bad, but Sakamoto Days manga has a feeling like JJK. Oh, hold on. Trade between Texans and Browns. Hey, man, I thought it was something else. All right. Scared me a little bit. I'm like, whoa. Oh, all right. Yeah, I stand with Sakamoto fans who said the anime fumbled. I think that the anime has a JJK, the manga has a JJK feel, and the anime didn't capture the essence of assassination and what I think the manga is doing. So, yes, Sakamoto Days manga fans should be a bit peeved. My favorite character up to this point? I like Nagumo. Nagumo is hilarious, but I'm gonna say Shin right now. Shin right now, especially with, and y'all know, hey, maybe it's bias, but with Shin's where I am right now, Shin just got a power up, and I'm not gonna say what it is. But y'all know the bias I have with what Shin just got. So yeah. Yo, shout out to Cubic joining, fam. I appreciate you, Cubic Charles. He said, Rosha, don't go to the busted ass Aints. I'm gonna be, yo, chill out, bro, relax. I don't think the Saints gonna draft Shador. I don't. I think, I actually think he goes higher than people think. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, Netflix out of Sakamoto Days. It should be better. It should be. It's too much good material to work with, and they fumbled. What up, Disco? Hey man, we here. Now this stream not gonna be too long because like tonight's NFL draft, and so you know what I'm saying. Y'all know the vibes. I believe we're gonna react to it on Twitch too, but I feel like Shador is getting like, it's one of those things. Damned if you do, damned if you don't. I've seen Will Howard talking smack. I've seen Jackson Dart doing stuff that Shador was doing, but because of who his dad is, he's getting maybe unfairly criticized. You know what I'm saying? Alan, hey, go watch Sinners. It's great. It's great. Disco, nah, for real. You know what? Let me get to chapter. Chapter 1147. The things we find scary. Raizo, the daimyo of Udon, expresses his gratitude. Yeah, so Raizo, what was you doing this entire time while all this is going on? Like, that's dope seeing Raizo again, though. I see people saying that there's some people that say they don't care about the cover story. They've never cared about cover stories. Listen, bro. Listen, wait, Zikor, wait, did that just come out? Is that new information? He met up with the girl 100 times for between 2022 to 2025. Damn! Um, 100 times? All right. Yeah, people were saying that like they don't care about the cover story, and I'm like, why would you not care about like actual canon material that's going on while the actual story is going on? Like, it's not the most riveting stuff, but the cover story, I think they're very important. Like, and then here's the thing. Of course, we had like the Aokiji cover story and all that different stuff that I thought was fantastic. It can't always be that, right? It can't always be like the best stuff, but to not care about the cover story, I think that's kind of crazy. Like, it's right there. Like, it's before you read the chapter, just read the cover story. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, exactly. I'd rather have these as well, Cordy. They didn't care about Yamato. I mean, Yamato is not my favorite character, but remember the first chapter of the cover story was Wano, right? Seeing another city underwater. And I don't think that's gonna just be there for no reason. That's gonna play a part in this cover story. It will. I think, honestly, y'all are right. This whole saga with Yamato could have been wrapped up in 5 chapters. But I think Oda is dragging it out so that once what happens in the cover story is going to match up with what's happening in the chapter. Right? And I think it's crazy because now we kind of see the layup, and we wouldn't have seen it before, but because we've been reading One Piece for so long, we see it. Oda, we understand what you're trying to do. You're trying to match up what's going to happen with the cover story, with what happens in Elbaf, for it to be like boom, 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 just seamless, right? We're like, oh my God, how did he do it? Yeah. But I think that's what he's doing. But either way, Ulti was in the cover story. Yeah, I don't mind it. I'd rather this over like random fan. Even the fan requests sometimes I think are cool. Is it, you know what I'm saying? Pluton reveal, more than likely a Pluton reveal. Oh gosh, they started chapter off with Saul. I don't know what to expect. It's crazy because I don't even like. All right. All right. That's my fault. I'm tripping. Robin, Chopper, Hyde. I've seen him before. He's a god's knight, huh? They're immortal. We can't beat them. The survivor of Ohara. Well, I guess there were two of you, huh? For the children's sake, you got to stay hidden and wait for the right moment. The Marines sure dropped the ball there. Gunko, you done rounding up the Straw Hats? Are we bringing them back with us? Summers, you dolt. You know we aren't here to provoke Straw Hat Luffy, right? We are to carry out our mission and go back home. How dare they do that to Saul? And it took Colin, too. How could you let this happen, Jinbei? I thought we'd be good with you here. Quit making a racket. I'm trying to think. I wonder, how do we handle this ability? That lady's scary. I thought I was a goner. That woman? No, it couldn't be. "100 times stronger." Okay. Wait. Let's not kill Jinbei here. Listen, this is not a slander Jinbei moment, all right? This is not a slander Jinbei moment, all right? We're not going to slander any fishman in my presence, okay? Let's talk about it, though. First son of the sea, former warlord, Billionberry bounty, monster trio, just a powerhouse that can decimate Jack, decimate Katakuri, first commander. Okay, wait. No, seriously. Listen. I think with, and I don't want to use gimmick, right? I don't want to go as far as to call the regen a gimmick, them being immortal a gimmick. But Oda's using it, right? Oda's using it to instill some level of tension that the God Knights is to be respected. But Jinbei is like, how do we handle this ability? Where she's using arrows, she can't die. I don't think it's that bad. I don't think it's that bad, but I think some people are going to be mad because of what they thought of Jinbei. Where a lot of people had Jinbei in like upper echelon, right? And all right, I was about to say something. Now, I'm going to just say this, right? This isn't the end of what Jinbei is going to do in this arc. This is Gunko's showcase. The ability seems hacks right now, but this, I think we just got to give it time. I'm not going to crap on Jinbei, right? But, I mean, Jinbei is who I thought he was. I think he's strong, but, I'm going to say this. If this was Sanji, y'all would kill him, right? If this was Sanji, y'all would decimate him. Y'all would make memes, TikToks, threads about, y'all would do that. All right? So, either way, I mean, yeah. It's matchups. It's matchups. My boy Commodore. What's happening, brother? How you feeling, my guy? Said DEI, Gil's going dry, Nami tied, Gunko in 5. I mean, listen, I think so far the immortal thing, it's gonna get figured out. And once it gets figured out, it's gonna get bad for the God Knight. So let's let it play out for as long as possible. Hey man, we gonna be in Houston, lads. We gonna be in Houston. It's gonna be a great time in Houston. You know what I'm saying? We gonna be outside, ain't no sleep. So yeah, it's gonna be lit. It's gonna be lit. DEI highs is wild though. Nah, I agree. So they're definitely strong regardless. I think they're strong for the most part. I don't think any of them are gonna be stronger than like Luffy's commanders. But I think it's like the regen for this level of opponent, it's just hard to get around. And here's the interesting part, right? None of these characters have what it takes to restrict without hurting, right? So at the end of the day, it's kind of like when we look at matchups like for Gunko, for instance, Jinbei, how is Jinbei going to restrict her with his powers, right? So it's a situation where like it's very matchup based. Very, very matchup based. Bad matchups all around. I would think Usopp would be able to do something, but we gotta wait and see. Yeah, I'm being at DreamCon. Darth light skin. Yeah, I'm gonna be there. Lord will, I'm gonna be there. Everything's already set. We're gonna be in DreamCon. Be at DreamCon. We're gonna be at Houston. We're gonna be in Houston. Local hooder at what's happening, my brother? What's happening? Okay. God, she's back. The zombie lady. Brooke, you there, huh? Your life will be devoted to making music for me. You belong to me. Huh? What? She knows Brooke's music? No way. She's a Celestial Dragon and a Soul King fan? Yo, what's up with Jinbei, bro? Yo, what's up? He said, that's one hell of a groupie. Nigga, that's not what you should be worried about right now. You are the monster that's here. What? What's up, bro? Yo. Shannon? All right. It should have been me, not him. All right. Hey, Gunko, cut that out. I'm not in the mood to pick a fight with an emperor here either. Let's finish the job. My fault. You said that's one hell of a groupie. What? All right, we got to see what Viz says when it comes out, because that's one hell of a groupie is crazy. What? All right, man. I don't know. TCB need translators? There you go. What? I'm not in the mood to pick a fight with an emperor here either. Interesting. My sincerest apologies, young lady. My captain, Straw Hat Luffy, gave me a second lease on life. Since then, my loyalty has been to him alone. And if refusal means forfeiting your life, I would sooner embrace death than live without honor. Oh! Brock! Hey, man. It's time to have some uncomfortable conversations about the Soul King. All right? It's time to have some uncomfortable conversations about the Soul King. I'm going to say this, all right? It's starting to get uncomfortable. Where Brook post time skip has been everything y'all have wanted Usopp to be. I don't know, man. I don't know. He's the unquestioned MVP of an entire arc. And when he dropping, hey, and he been had quotables now. Yo, she said, what about forfeiting your life? He said, I would sooner embrace death than live without honor, bitch. All right, he didn't say that part. But I'm saying, like, he talking. Shout out to Soul King, man. I love it. Look at Usopp. Brook. What's going on with her? Is there a limit to her powers? What's that about? What's that? Y'all? Oh, is she sad? Her heart hurt? Okay. Brook, we good killing him? Yeah, go ahead. That's odd. I don't know if it's like because she had to kick Brook and it hurt her heart because she hurt somebody that she looks up to. That's what I'm gonna say, right? It's like one of those. Or is it a limit to her powers? I don't know. We'll see. Can you hear me? Warriors of Elbaf. Who's that? A transmission. I'll bet by now you're feeling the pressure from all these abnormalities. This is our handiwork. I'm the dagger of the Holy Land, Mary Joa. Summers of the Gods' Nights. Mary Joa? So they're with the world government? What do they want? Chief, this is broadcasting all over Elbaf. They're exposing themselves? Are the kids okay? At the moment, you're probably already aware, but we are currently in the middle of kidnapping 10 children from this country. Oh yeah, and we've already taken down a certain orange-bearded guy. All right. Yo, I don't know why Oda keeps doing this. It's like Oda has brought Saul back for comedic relief. There's no way. Bro, real talk. Y'all have been here. How many chapters have we pointed out Saul just being there for comedy? How many times? Why did he mention that? Saul did nothing. He was nothing of consequence. And we've already taken down a certain orange bearded guy who was trying his darndest to free them. Yo, he said we smoking on that Saul pack. That's literally what he said. Something happened to Saul? In short, you naively assumed those brats would be kept safe, but they're still storming toward our goal. Summers missed out on a perfectly fine fish mount. Gunko had Jinbei all saddled up. Instead, he's riding a plant. Hey, it's still time. Just gonna say he brought him back just for the reunion with Robin. It's like after Oda brought Saul back, it's like he's like, all right, well, shit. All right, thanks, Saul. It's showtime. Too bad we won't have a video feed. Do you remember the names of all the kids we had march out of here? Of course. Of course. All right, then. You'll inform the parents. It's about time for the children to wake up from their dreams. Hey, what are we doing walking out here? Where are we going? Don't know. I bet it's far away. This is branch 18, the way back home. Wait, is this Ange responding to killing him? Is the Ange's evil theory still alive? Does Sai have a victory lap ready to go? It's crazy because it's one of those situations, right? It's one of those situations where Ange, so first of all, Sai accused Ange of being a villain or sus. You know why he accused Ange? The only reason why Sai accused Ange is because she was ugly. That's the only reason Sai accused Ange. And she might, and it might be her. That's crazy. That's crazy. Listen, that would set a precedent. Crazy. DK said valid. Hey. Yeah, but our bodies are still moving on their own, aren't they? So we're not going home, but I want my mommy. I want my daddy. You can't see them. We've been kidnapped. Hey, I'm not gonna lie, bro. I'm not gonna lie. Colin, man. A real one. What does Elbaf become? What? Calm down. I'm here. All right, All Might. I'm not like you weaklings. I'm a warrior. It's a monster and a ghost, Colin. All right, Colin. All right, Colin. All right, Colin. Sai's gonna laugh big because she's snitching. I mean, you know. Saul seems to have been taken out. Yo, I read that wrong. I read Saul seems to have been taken out back. I'm like, wait, what? Okay, Saul seems to have been taken out. Turn back. All right. We're going to rescue the kids. Chiefs, about that. The ship has sprung a leak and we've got broken oars. Damn it. What's this creature supposed to be? Not sure. Some kind of beastly woman. Looks kind of like my missus. You're in for a beating. The one over there looks like my wife, huh? Hang on. Aren't these things that the kids' fears come to life? Say, Bent, you're a kid, right? Yeah. So what if Bent finds Scary is his mom? Then that means they're mothers? Anyone would be scared by that, even us. Or what is going on? You can't tell me that's not Big Mom. You can't tell me that's not Big Mom. I notice these titties anywhere. What is going on? Why are mothers the villains? Come on. We know. You were thinking it. I just said it. All right, I just said it. Yeah. We can't do this. Our spirits aren't strong enough. Are you kidding me? I mean, I get it, though. I get it. I'm sorry for always going out drinking, Mom. Ma, I shouldn't have forgotten to take out the trash. Forgive me for eating the honey cake meant for our guests. Chiefs, this is bad. The island clouds have drifted away. We're going down. Listen, here's the thing. I had a low opinion of the Giants coming into Elbaf. And I gotta say, like, seriously, because of how the story's been progressing, it's gotten lower. Oh, God. Hey! Listen, the only thing that's keeping the Giants' reputation intact is the fact that the world government would need them for the final war because they're Giants and Loki. That's about it. And I got some hope for Harold, but Jesus, man. Listen, Giants can change the tide of war, okay? Because they're big, they cover a lot of ground. But you know, perception, reality. Y'all know how I feel about that. Jeez, man. Jeez. Ha. So, ha. Okay. All right. I gotta say, I gotta give a shout out. Now we talking about laughs because that's a different laugh. Ha. JoJo, Part 3. I forget the name of the stand, but it was the baby stand. Lolly ho! I love that damn baby, bro. I ain't gonna lie. Shout out to JoJo. Death 13. That's the one. It's so good, bro. It's so good. Lolly ho! But yeah. Broken ability. Absolutely insane. But yeah. He had to, Breezy, he had to. The ship of the mighty giant warrior pirates just crashed. Some strong dream demons got him. The odds seem to only get worse for those brats. Let's keep this brief. I am now addressing the legendary warrior Mountain Beard Jarl. Seeing as the king's gone, you will speak for Elbaf. No, Dorian, bro, you couldn't have. It can't be. The giant warrior pirates Sval crashed. I hope the chiefs are safe. Let's hurry. Our goal is simple. You giants will serve as our battle thralls. Otherwise, we'll see just how valuable these brats are as hostages. I'm sure you're all curious about the 10 kids and where they're going, right? Okay. All right. Okay, so we're at that place. All right? We're at that place where we got a key. We got a key, we got a map, we got locations. We're there already. So we're really right around the midway point. Okay? Around the midway point. Heavenly King said, I'm not going to be honest, Shamrock should have stayed. These gods' knights are actual ass. Okay. I don't think they're ass. I think the issue is built into One Piece, and Oda, right? Oda has done something throughout every post-time skip arc that he's currently doing here, but we don't care about it. Or we don't care as much as previous arcs. The one thing I'll say is that, because I got a whole video dropping on it, is that post-time skip is built on familiarity, right? It's built on that. And when we're going into somewhere and it's less, and as far as the antagonist or the threat level is lessened, then the familiarity is higher, right? So going to Fishman Island, right? That was a new place, new spot. Oda made sure he had someone like Jinbei there, right? Which a lot of us look at Jinbei as like the best part of Fishman Island because Hody Jones is trash. Then we go to Punk Hazard, right? Punk Hazard, the big bad is Caesar, right? For the most part. Familiarity is who? He had Law there and Smoker and Tashigi, right? So it's like, if you use that formula going through post-time skip, right? And now we get to Elbaf, you bring Shamrock in, which is a major plus for that point, and then you remove him, which Oda has never done in any other arc. where you bring in that. He's not only, and Shamrock is like a twofold. He's not only the big bad, but he's also peak familiarity. And you remove that, now we're like grasping for straws because Dorian broke your ass. But I'll address all that in entire video. Either way, I don't think the God Knights are ass. We're just not familiar enough with them. We're still learning them as people, learn them as characters, understanding their abilities, and it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough to connect. So far, it's hard to connect with Elbaf for the casual fan. I mean, I think if you read One Piece, for the most part, you're locked in regardless, but it's just harder to connect. But I do like Summers a lot, and I think Gunko is cool. I like Gunko. Killingham, still don't know enough about him, but it still feels like we're in a stretch of setup chapters. But I mean, I think so far the most interesting is Summers. I think Gunko is going to be a major catalyst considering like what she is. Because Oda's still holding back with her. But, you know, it's so far the 3 God Knights have brought Elbaf to its knees. Now, granted, a lot of major players are away. At this point, the major players are away. Loki, Luffy, Zoro, Sanji. So it feels like, you know, it feels like one of those situations where I think we talked about like Bleach. Remember Bleach when Aizen was like stuck for a lot of it, right? Like he couldn't do anything. So like the others had to step up. So, you know, in a way, you're kind of keeping Luffy away because you understand like the danger that Luffy brings. Yeah, it's just an interesting way to buy time, I guess. I don't think it's bad. I just think it's in comparison to where we just came from and expectation. It's just these chapters are necessary, right? These chapters are necessary. But you know, week to week, this is how it's gonna be. Okay, I have the names of the kidnapped children. The first one is Ilva. Ilva, my great-great-granddaughter. Lord Jarul. We have Skady. We're helpless. Olaf, the dream. This is just a dream. Captain, that's my grandson. Colleen, I have the worst luck. Mug, I know I'm strong, but I can't stop. Ronya, it's okay. Everything will work out in the end. Ah. Okay, Ronya. All right. See, Ronya is not my daughter. Ronya is my daughter of the arc. Shout out to Ronya. Just innocent. Just still smiling. Right? Just optimistic. Big W's for Ronya. She looks like she's the youngest one, too. Oh, come on, man. Come on. Yo, these other kids are just like despicable. Why did it have to be my daughter? They're on branch 8, right? I go save her myself. Bent. His name is Bent. What the hell? Mama's gonna be so mad. Johanna, at least you have parents. Ooh. Damn, baby Robin. Morbid. And she got horns. Who's wait. Is she one of King Harold's bastards? That'd be crazy. That don't make sense. King Harold died a long time ago. Right? Or Loki's kid? Whose kid is this? You're right. You're right. You're right. She could be 20. This could be King Harold's bastard. Based on, like, she could be 20 years old. Remember, like, these kids age differently. But this could be King Harold's kid. At least you have parents. Or one to, I mean, regardless, she's going to be special. Bjorn, just save me at least. It was just those 9, but later on, another was taken because he came to save his friends. Oh. You suck, Bjorn. How could you say something like that? Sorry. The little warrior, Colin, he makes 10. Huh? Colin? You hear that, Ripley? Our boy sure is something. I feel like sometimes these pirates just be missing something. They be missing it. I get it. I would be proud too. But I'd be terrified as well. Maybe he is, but he's just showing like his pride early. But he's like, you hear that, Ripley? Our boy sure is something. Like, this isn't a time to brag. Now we'll make our demands. Listen closely, Elbaf. Warriors have no need for schools. They don't need libraries or their pointless history either. Set them ablaze and swear your allegiance to us. If you don't, we're going to kill your kids off one by one. Help! Save us! Huh? The hell did he just say? We know where the kids are. Let's go save them. I'll smash them to bits. El Dajaru, the choice is yours. Mine? Please wait, that's too cruel. This school is a symbol of Elbaf's peace. And the library not only safeguards our long history, but also the secrets of the world that the scholars of Ahara sacrificed their lives to protect. It doesn't just belong to Elbaf. You sure are a big mouth. Yo, this bitch is yapping. I ain't gonna lie. He don't care about all that. Why the heck? Wait, first of all, why would he care about that? Why would Summers, who just laughed, called out Saul for no reason, care about Elbaf's history? And then you talking about the scholars of Ahara. Are you an imposter? Robin, don't do it. Yasan, please, on it. Okay. Oh, my man is out. All right. Okay, it's inevitable. We said this was going to happen. Scopper Gabon versus Sommers. And that makes a ton of sense. Just considering their personalities. So that's, and again, I think the theory about what I said is going to happen too. And I think everybody's saying it now, but I've been saying, that Scopper will know how to actually hurt the God Knights. He will show us that the God Knights can be hurt. And of course, Sommers, he uses thorns. So it just makes sense, right? It just makes sense. Robin versus, okay, here's the thing. Robin can't fight Sommers or she gets folded. She gets folded negative. He is the worst matchup for Robin. Robin versus Gunko. Hold on. They say hockey less Robin over Sommers. I don't think I don't think Robin's going to fight Summers. I think Robin fights Gunko. I think Scopper fights Summers. What I mean is, with the arrows, how do you control what Robin does, considering she can spawn arms on you? And I think for Gunko, and even in general, when we talk about One Piece fights, a lot of people look at fights as, how can you knock them out? I mean, honestly, if I restrain you, I won the fight. Gunko did not knock out the Straw Hats, right? Gunko just restrained them. She won, right? That's a win. That's a W. And so if Robin can find a way to restrain Gunko, maybe even use her own arrows to tie her up, I don't know, right? But we'll see. They say they aren't losing to Gaban or Robin. Luffy and Zoro still need fights. If we think Summers and Gunko would appease the fan base if there are Luffy's and Zoro's fights, you are out of your mind, bro. No shot. No shot Summers and Gunko or Luffy's and Zoro's fights. No way. Heck no. Heck no. And I'll say this, right? I'll say this. If somehow Oda made it that Summers and Gunko were Luffy's and Zoro's final fights in an arc, unless Elbaf would have to like deliver at the end of it, lore-wise, so heavily, or this arc could go down as legitimately bottom tier. Bottom tier. All right? Bottom tier. So I do not think Summers is fighting Luffy. No shot. What I do think is happening, based on the theory of familiarity in Elbaf, somebody else is coming. Somebody else will be showing up. Either Shamrock comes back or somebody else shows up to replace him. Ideally, you would like for it to be somebody familiar, right? To add to the arc, or somebody that can present more of a threat than the current God Knights. So, no. I don't think Summers is Luffy's fight. Heck no. Heck no. Heck no. Yeah, but for Elbaf to acting like Green Bull versus Luffy wouldn't be actual dog crap. Well, I think at its core, Luffy is stronger than Green Bull, right? But you got to factor in Elbaf, Green Bull is probably operating at 150% considering what he has access to. He has access to the world tree, right? And so for Green Bull, imagine Oda using that as a way to make it make sense with Green Bull fighting against Luffy. So it's like, I don't want to rule that out, but somebody else has to show up. Point blank period, somebody else has to show up. These three, they cannot be it. It doesn't follow the structure that Oda normally does. So somebody else has to be here. Yeah. I've been saying Green Bull comes, and then also Green Bull filling in for his lovely celestial dragons and working with them would be on brand. Also, it'd be interesting if Green Bull and Shamrock comes back, right, together. And he comes back with his own red hair for revenge on the Straw Hats. I've been saying that's something that should happen. I think it just like makes a lot of sense. But, you know, we'll see. Decent chapter. Another setup. I like it. I still feel like no matter what happens, I feel like people are still going to complain. right? I feel like people are still going to complain because as cool as I think Somers is, as cool as Gunko is, they're not filling the void. Isaac, it's not that the God Knights would be ass. It's just that the level of excitement for the God Knights being the final fights for the Straw Hats, it does not register to the most of the fan base. Even talking to people that are more casual readers of One Piece, they say the God Knights are cool, but they're still waiting for something else. They're like, this is cool, like I'm following it, but I'm waiting for it to escalate a little bit, right? And so I don't think it's ass, right? I don't think if they fight them it's ass, but it's like it needs to be upped. It needs to be upped. And quite frankly, our expectations are higher because of what we just came from, right? Because of what we just came from. And so we think the Giants are at. I think in general the Giants are in 1v1s where we look at like 1v1 strength, the Giants in comparison to like Luffy or like, you know, the Admirals, it's like we feel like they fall short. But I think if you have an army of giants, you can destroy maybe 90, 99% of countries in One Piece, right? So it's relativity. My boy Tyquan 1000 finest in the chat. He says Admirals are overrated, especially Green Bull. Name his legit W's. Listen, we all know Ty's storied history with the Admirals, right? This goes back years where Ty been had Green Bull at 30, all right? So like Ty, I don't know if you're an unbiased source that I can use when it comes to the Admirals. I feel like we need an Admiral in this arc. An Admiral in this arc would be great. But I mean, people don't like to admit it. But typically when the Admirals are around, the story is just better. It just is what it is. But of course, look who show up. Look who show up. Admirals just start getting slandered. Look who show up. Wing. Is it like a keyword? Is it an alert on your phone? Soon as Admirals get slandered, here come Wing. Admiral slander time. Happy. But then, I don't hate the Admirals, Brago. I just call it like it is. Shit me. God damn, Wing. Ridiculous. It's like a sixth sense. I just said, if it's not a kind I could cure less, Green Bull is ass. Already saw Kizaru last arc, and I'm hoping Fuji is safe for a future Zoro fight. Well, I'm going to disagree. All right? I'm going to disagree. I think ultimately, if Green Bull shows up, I'm cool with that. But I don't think it can just be Green Bull. I think Green Bull and Shamrock would have to come back. And if they both come back, I think that would be a great, great way to bring it full circle with Wano. It'd be beautiful. If Green Bull comes back with Shamrock, oh man. Oh man. That, I'm not gonna lie. You see Green Bull and Shamrock walking through like a portal or whatever they did, they get summoned here, you'd be hype. Okay, 99.9% of people would be hype. 99.9% of fans would be hype. If you're not hype, if that happens, Isaac, I don't know. If both come back, Zoro is Shamrock's opponent. No. I think, here's the thing. Knowing Oda, right? Oda would have it where it's a tag team where Green Bull would be elated to fight alongside Shamrock because he guzzles the Celestial Dragons. So it's Luffy and Zoro versus Shamrock and Green Bull, which would be insane. And I'm not talking about just like, it's not even just about the manga. I'm just excited for what the anime would do with it. Now, to be fair, the anime did fumble last episode of Luffy versus Kizaru. That was not great. Akainu versus Kuma. I mean, it wasn't really a versus, but that was bad, right? But more excitement is going to happen in the arc. More people. I feel pretty certain that more big names are coming to Elbaf. Oh yeah, let me go back to that. Did Brook recognize Gunko? Brook said something. Let me see what Brook said. Brook said something like, huh? He said, that woman, no, it couldn't be. Right? Like, Brook, what do you know? Is she Yorkie? Or he's probably seen her at like concerts. She's probably been to Brook's concerts. And she's probably been like at the front writing letters. That's probably why her heart hurt, because like she's really, really a super fan. It's either that or he knows her from somewhere. It's either like either she's a tier 3 sub, or Brook genuinely knows her from somewhere. And I'm gonna say this. Because there's some people that are speculating she could be Gunko from House Nerona. My initial feeling on Gunko was that she's not a Celestial Dragon, that she's not an OG Celestial Dragon. She's a honorary Celestial Dragon. That's how I feel about her. Now, she could just be like somebody from a prestigious family and Oda's just presenting her this way. But if Brook recognizes her from somewhere, then she's definitely not an OG Celestial Dragon. If it's not for like the groupie thing. So she's a groupie and Brook gave her that bone. That's crazy. That's actually a crazy thought, Mr. Me. Why did you even think of that? Luffy versus Sham and Zoro plus Sanji versus Green Bull, same time. Well, Luffy versus Shamrock and Zoro and Sanji versus Green Bull. Ooh, I like that even better. Diaz, I like that a lot, actually. I like that a lot. Yo, I feel like Green Bull has gotten to the point where it's like he's like probably one of the most underrated characters in One Piece. Like y'all, like people really sleep on Green Bull. It's crazy. You see, you don't got Green Bull beating Zoro 1v1, let alone 2v1, and you out of your mind. I know. I do think it's definitely Oda's fault, but I think people also don't read well. Sanji's Green Bull's weakness with flames. All right. Green Bull lost Zoro and Oda revealed his ugly face. I don't hate Green Bull's design. You think Green Bull is Green Bull ugly? I mean, he got like I didn't think his design took away his aura. Really? More to the theory that Lucci, Dofi, and Green Bull will become God Knights too. What if Shamrock brings all of them and Shanks comes in to save the day? Dofi? Yeah, okay. I do not like his forest mode though. His forest mode is not I don't like that. That was ugly. On everything, Sanji and Zoro versus Green will be completely one-sided. He ain't done anything to prove that at all. I disagree. Holy Knights over Green Bull, they can't be damaged. Green Bull would auto lose to any of them over time. I think the Holy Knights, Green Bull would actually beat them because Green Bull can beat them without them using regen. So I got Green Bull over them. Like I said, and again, I don't want to call like the regen a gimmick, but because it's kind of being spammed and it's thrown in our face about them being immortal, you know, it's hard not to call it that. Ooh. All right, we're gonna end this in 7 minutes. Yeah, I don't want to call it cheap, but it's, you know, it's one of those things. It feels like low gear pre-time skip, right? It kind of feels like that. Where like, oh, you can't hit Smoker. He's a god. And so, you know. Yeah. Green Bull should have been One Piece's Hashirama. Yeah, but Oda wanted a clip farm. The rational take right now that it's a gimmick. I feel like gimmick is a bit strong, but it's teetering. It's teetering. My only issue is that I hope the God Knights are still competent fighters without the regen. I don't know. Oda kind of fumbles plant-based abilities. Bro, I think at the end of the day, right? At the end of the day, they say they're above Yonko level with regen. Oh my god, we gotta stop. We gotta stop. But here's the thing. I think ultimately, right? Oda doesn't fumble just plant-based abilities. Oda just fumbles fights a lot. Like, it's just, listen, I think Oda is the king, right? Is a king of the setup. He's a king of the setup and getting you excited. But I don't think, right, like KP said, I don't think he cares about fights enough to have them play out in a way that's overall satisfying for the audience, right? So I think the abilities are fire. I think all the abilities. I think One Piece has a plethora of abilities that are like unbelievable. But I feel like Oda's not focused on that. So ultimately, a fight is probably going to be less exciting than you think it would, than you think it'd be. So ultimately, what you presume a fight is going to be better than you had 99% of the time than it is when Oda draws it. You say he used to? He used to? Like when? Like when? Maybe I'm forgetting. Like when? I think Luffy versus Crocodile was pretty good. I think Luffy versus Anel had some pretty good moments. I think here's the thing. I think back then, I think fights were more creative and more about how you can get around certain abilities. I think ultimately now fights have been somewhat dependent on stronger hockey. That's why sometimes I teeter on, do I prefer Long Kid versus Big Mom versus Luffy versus Kaido? So Cracker versus Luffy was a good conclusion to you? You thought that was good? Cracker versus Luffy, thought it was good. Here's the thing. Like I said, these fights, they're going to have amazing starts. They're going to start pretty good. But the thing is like the conclusion of the fights. Like, these fights are going to start strong. Luffy versus Kizaru started fantastic. I thought it was an amazing start. Yeah, Zordad's Bones, I think for the time, it was cool. Does it hold up now? Probably not. Like, the fights that still resonate with me was like, it's crazy, right? Like, these are the fights that I'm thinking, that's anime. Okay, let's stick to the manga. Fights in the manga, right? Fights in the manga that, forget the anime, because the anime go crazy. We're not talking about the anime. In the manga, and even in the anime, right? Let's use the manga as example. Like, what fights? What's the best manga fight is probably Luffy versus Lucci. I think Luffy versus Cat is pretty good. Right? Started off great, had it got muddy towards the middle. Because I think sometimes people forget what happened in that fight, where like legitimately Luffy loses, he comes back, he gets the best of Cat. Cat takes over the fight again. Luffy then runs away. Right? Luffy then runs away with Brule and is running back and forth in and out of the mirror world with Brule through in the middle of that fight. And then towards the end, then he starts fighting Katakuri. He gets hit. Katakuri stabs himself. And then they start throwing hands. So it's like you know, so it's and then Doflamingo's fight, Dofi got done dirty, man. Dofi got done dirty. Where it's a tag team. He gets hit with Gamma Knife. And then he has to fight Gear Fourth. He outlasts Gear Fourth while being hurt from the Gamma Knife. And then Luffy gets carried. It's messy. It's messy. It's messy. So I think, again, Oda goes for the story. Like, Oda is like, he wants the moment, right? He wants to have, like, moments within the fight. That's what he wants at the end of the day. So no matter what the fight is, it's going to be something in there that's a bit messy. It's not going to be clean. It's going to be something, especially with Luffy's fights. So it's just, you know, it just is what it is. So like, I have One Piece fights. I mean, One Piece is the GOAT, right? Well, technically, Dragon Ball is the GOAT. But One Piece is the GOAT. With subpar fights mostly. But the hype for these fights, I ain't gonna lie, y'all. I ain't gonna lie. Nowadays, I don't need a lot. I think the animators are getting so good that Oda just introduced the fight. Give us some little give us a little bit of that and let the animators do their job. All right? Just let the animators do their job. We don't need a lot in the manga. Give us a little some off-screen Just let the anime studio do their job. And then let's get back to the lore and the comedy and what One Piece is great at. I don't care. That's it. Just, you don't gotta do too much, bro. I haven't really been satisfied with an arc since Whole Cake. How do I feel about Whole Cake, Wano, Well, Zoe was satisfying. Whole Cake was satisfying. Wano was interesting, right? Wano was interesting. Egghead was satisfying for sure. But I think the issue Oda's been having post time skip is this closing. The closing of the arcs. Right? The closing of the arcs, they've had like, it's almost like, right? It's like we've had, let's say the fights or the arcs in One Piece is like a plane ride, right? Perfect takeoff. The takeoff is perfect, right? There's no babies crying on the plane, right? Everybody there is pretty cool. You know, you're not sitting next to, yeah, right? It's a perfect takeoff, right? Then along the way, for whatever reason, we hit like crazy turbulence. Right? Like crazy turbulence. I'm talking about like, I'm scared the plane gonna go down. Right? Then a baby come out of nowhere. Then it's 2 babies. Then it's 3 babies. And then towards the end, it gets better. The babies go to sleep. Still a little bit of turbulence. And then sometimes it's like just a hard landing. Right? Just a hard landing. And I think the ending of Egghead was cool. I think I was a bit disappointed because Vegapunk's message was a lot of what I wanted to hear was cut out. And the Gorosei, they were around so long that like we had so many arcs of the Gorosei getting pummeled and regen and coming back, and people started taking them for jokes. Like people were getting tired of the Gorosei. Like, all right, bro. Like people started commenting on Jupiter's teeth. It was like, damn, right? What's his dental plan? So, you know, I think Egghead, considering all that we got in the arc, legitimately 8.5. 8.5 out of 10. 8 to 8.5 out of 10. Not gonna lie, I thought it was about to be easily 9 out of 10 arc. 9.5 out of 10 arc. I would say 8 to 8.5 out of 10 arc. 8 out of 10. 8 out of 10 arc. Right? 8 out of 10 arc. Anime would turn into a 9. Well, for me, manga Wano is like a 7.5. Anime Wano is an 8.5. So take that for what it's worth. All right. Manga Wano, 7.5. Anime Wano, 8.5. So, you know, Wano's like a 6. It's crazy because as time goes on, I feel like people put Wano lower and lower and lower and lower. Damn. What happened? Damn, a 6? A 6? That feels a bit harsh, y'all. That feels a bit harsh. But but I'm thinking through it because Act 1 was okay. Let's not do this. Act 1 was fantastic. All right? Act 1 was fantastic. A lot of Wano's hate comes from expectation, but Act 1 was fantastic. All right? Act 2 was rough. Act 2 was rough. Damn, a 6? I'm thinking back to Udon, Zoro, Kamazo, Big Mom, Ori, Orochi, Oden, Kaido, Sasaki, who's Yamato. Let's do a poll. Then I gotta go. Let's do a poll. Damn. But Roof Piece was fire though. I don't know. Do I like how Roof Piece wasn't fire? Let's do a poll real quick. Then let's get out of here. Okay. All right. Let's do this real quick while the poll is coming in. What are the highlights of Wano? Let's list 5 highlights, right? Roof Piece, highlight. Zoro versus King, highlight. The flashback, right? The Odin flashback, a highlight. Gear 5, a highlight. I think what else? We got the flashback. What else? Act 1, right? Act 1 is a highlight. Right? So those are some very high highs that can compete with anything in the series, right? And I think that's the thing with Wano. It's like peaks and valleys. Now, what are the lows of Wano? What are the lows? Olin, Orochi, the numbers, the fake deaths, to Udon Prison, the Ice Oni stuff. Somebody said the scabbards. Damn. The Ice Oni. Somebody said just the scabbards. Okay, you know what's crazy? I would say off. Oh yeah, out of the story, offline, not offline, online, out of the story. Yamato was a low light. Yamato out of the story on social media was oh my God. Y'all have no idea how much Yamato and the discourse around Yamato sucked the energy out of the arc, man. Oh God. Like, bro, I had to mute Yamato on Twitter. I had to mute it. That's not relevant, though. You can't put that against the manga. I mean, Oda, listen, I feel like Oda was BSing that entire arc with Yamato. As I feel like Oda didn't, stand on it. Oh, Disco, the Big Mom Pirates, that's in the bucket with Big Mom. Olin. Anything associated with Olin was a low light in Wano. It was a low light in Wano. Anything associated with Olin was a low light in Wano. Why do you even bring the Big Mom Pirates to Wano to only have Perospero do something? Nobody else? Nobody else? Odin twerking for 5 years, didn't like that. Didn't like that. Didn't like that at all. Wasn't a fan of that. The Minks are kind of sad. Again, bro. And this is where some people are going to get mad about this statement, right? Some of y'all are going to get mad. But ultimately, the reason why the conclusion of Wano, Onigashima, And let's be frank. Wano mostly was a raid, right? It was war. The reason why Wano didn't hit like it probably should have is because some of Oda's shortcomings handling fights and battles previously, right? You can't hide it in a war. You can't hide it in a raid. And so all these conclusions are happening and you're underwhelmed by most of them. You can't hide it there. So it's just like Sasaki, who's who? Right? Even a Pooh, X Drake, Hawkins. You start to feel like, all right. All the conclusions are falling flat. Bro, and quiet as it's kept, even Luffy versus Kaido's conclusion was not satisfying. They say you're worried about a Pooh. Is a Pooh not a character in the story? You see, that's what I'm talking about. It's like, you say it's no criticism, but then when you mention something that's a criticism, why are you worried about that? Why am I worried about that? What do you mean? Is he that important? He's a character. That's what I'm saying. Like, y'all can't tell people what to care about. It's a part of the story. Yeah, it's a waste of space, but he took up hella chapters. But then at the end of the day, it's like, it's not even about a Pooh. It's the conclusion of these things. It's an amalgamation. It's not just a Pooh. It's a Pooh. It's Sasaki. It's who is who. It's Luffy versus Kaido. It's Orochi. It's Denjiro disappearing for like most of the arc. It's just a lot of these things culminated and it made like, quite frankly, a shit show. Right? It's a shit show. But the highs, the peaks are there. Hawkins was amazing in part one, in act one, man. Hawkins was amazing, man. I'm not gonna lie. As good as Hawkins was, I was like, hold on. Do I gotta reevaluate my favorite supernova? Hawkins was hooping. And I don't know what happened. So I would say ultimately, I can't look past the highs because Roof Piece was some of the best, and I think that's why I get disappointed, right? That's why Oda is disappointing sometimes with conclusions, because Oda was hooping with Roof Piece. Choreography, abilities, paneling. Oda was hooping. He was in his bag. It was perfect. Bro, he was in his bag with Roof Piece. And I think that's the thing, was like, you can draw fights. You can get in your bag with fights. And then it's just, I don't know. So I'm not going to say Wano's a 5. It's not a 5 to me. Roof Piece was too important. The flashback was way too important. Odin is too important. I think, and it's hard to separate the anime from the manga because, I mean, it's etched in my mind. But now talking through it, and technically Shanks and Green Bull, that's a part of Wano. And I think that was hype. To me, that added to the arc. I don't know how y'all feel about that. I think it added to the arc. It makes it worse. Okay. You know what? Oda destroyed a character for the sake of a character that didn't need hype. And then the reasoning. All right. You know what? Let me ask y'all this, right? Oda, Shanks shows up, right? And apparently Shanks is looking for Blackbeard, whatever, waiting for Blackbeard. He comes to Wano. He does that to Green Bull. Shanks is now leaving, and Luffy says, that hockey feels familiar. Would it have been more on brand for Luffy to dart across Wano to catch a glimpse of Shanks, considering what he's willing to risk in Elbaf just to see Shanks? I feel like it's like if you're willing to do all this in Elbaf just to see Shanks, you're just smiling saying, haha, that hockey looks familiar. It feels familiar. I don't know. Do all what? Basically go against an entire country to free Loki to get information on Shanks. He knows it was Shanks. Oh, Sukiyaki? Sukiyaki was a low. Oh my God. Sukiyaki should commit seppuku. Sukiyaki should commit seppuku for like, ugh. Oh my God. This nigga hid for 20 years making dolls. He didn't even start like join any of the revolts. He just hid for 20 years. No, they should definitely boil him alive. Oh. Odin dancing for 5 years. I mean, it's justified. He was trying to protect his people. I just didn't like, I'm not gonna lie. If my country is under attack and I am pulling up with my boys that I just sailed the seas with and it's time, I'm like, yo, I need to save my city. Let's ride out. Because they even asked him, bro, you sure you don't need help? No. This is something I must do. Because I am Odin. What the fuck? But the story must go on. Yes, and he had his swords in prison. Yes. I know. I don't know. Y'all are making One Piece. Wano sound a lot worse than it really was. It wasn't that bad. Conjuro. Hey, I like Conjuro. When Conjuro said, it was me, I'm niggas. That was crazy. Conjuro was crazy, man. Oh, man. When Speed stole, was it Speed that stole Tama and them from Luffy? Or was it Gazelle Man? Ah, I love Wano. You know what? Y'all just made me think of something. Y'all just made me think of a very, it's a very diabolical angle. Wano is a comedy. Wano is a comedy. Oh my God. Dog. When you think of Odin finding out when you think of Odin finding out that his country is in trouble, and then Kaido said, "Dance, nigga," and he danced for 5 years every day. He got out there and danced for 5 years is a long time. Oh my God. You didn't go check? You didn't go check at no point to make sure Kaido was upholding his end of the bargain for 5 years? Okay. All right. We gonna script it. We got to go through the entirety of Wano. We gonna write an entire script as far as like why Wano was a comedy. That's funny. That's funny. Shout out to Odin, man. He died a real one. Oh, wait. Odin was born to boil. That's a W. That was a part of the arc that was a W. That's a big W. That's a big W. I'd say that was a big W for Wano. I really like that moment. Now, the intricacies around that moment, I don't think about it. I try not to think about it because it makes the moment less impactful, but it was a good moment. It was a good moment. Ulti's a big W from the arc. Hiyori, I think, you know what it is, bro? You know what it is? Oda has cultivated such an amazing story and an amazing cast of characters. I feel like there's real potential with a character like Hiyori. A real potential. And I feel like Oda sometimes just goes for the clip farm. Where it's like, let's dig deeper though. Right? Let's dig deeper. Let's unpack that for a second. Hiyori, let's unpack it. There's a lot there that we can play with that you can go back and forth. You have Tama there as a muse. You can use Tama, that conflict as far as Tama's blood, right? Having the Straw Hats there, having Nami there. There's a lot that you can play with. And then you go for the Orochi was born to burn, or Kurozomi was born to burn. There's a lot there. But ultimately, I give Wano a 7. I'm not unpacking nothing. I'm not about to write arcs for Oda like niggas did with Gay for JJK. It's a tough line for her. Think about what she's been through. I think it's a line that it's substantial with context, but I would like more of your perspective. I would like more of Hiyori's perspective, right? It's a tough line, but what does it lead to? Now what? Right? But I do think Oda cut Wano short. I still think he cut Wano short and got to a point where he's like, okay, we got to end this. Hiyori is the most lame character. I don't think she's lame. I don't think Hiyori's lame. I think it's we understand her, but I feel like we don't care about her. Right? I think we just don't care about Hiyori. When I think because of what she's been through, she was the Kumurasaki, right? For that long, I feel like I didn't connect with her, right? I didn't connect with her pain. So, at the end when she said the Kurozomi was born to burn, like, what are your honest thoughts? Right? Because then Oda came out talking about what it is, da 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 da. How do you feel, right? I need more. So, I think we got a good glimpse of Denjiro and how he feels, how anger literally transformed him. I would like to see some of that continue, right? I don't think you get angry to the point of changing your appearance. That doesn't just go away, right? You don't get back to the Scabbers and all of a sudden you're back to Denjiro. No, you have been Kyoshiro for 20 years, right? It's like, let some of that anger seep through a little bit. Let's see that. Even interacting with your own people. I feel like the character that like Oda started off amazing with was Ashura Doji, where he's like, man, y'all, right? Forget y'all. Nigga, I've been here in the trenches. Where the hell y'all been? Y'all niggas. I'm out. Talking about man, what? All right, I gotta go. You're right, Spencer. You're right. Like the stream. Toki, I forgot about Toki. I didn't mind Toki too much. Toki was cool. Toki was fine. I didn't mind Toki. Toki did nothing wrong. I think Toki did everything she needed to do. Yeah, draft next week. Okay, real quick. It looks like we're not on break next week. I thought we would be on break next week, so I was going to do a One Piece draft. I don't know if y'all remember years ago, we did a One Piece draft where I think it was like 10 of us. We drafted like a team. Oh, it's Golden Week? Okay, perfect. So we drafted like a team and we kind of had to compare like the teams, right? So it's going to be the same thing. I think it's going to be like 12 people. We're going to draft a 10-person crew. The only thing is continuity and team chemistry is going to be a factor, right? Continuity is going to be a factor. Like, you can't draft Blackbeard and Garp and be like, here you go. Because we're using story continuity. How would these people interact if they were on the same team? And then we're going to have like, obviously the chat vote on it, but also like scenarios that each crew has to kind of traverse. So yeah, so it's gonna be like, a snake draft. We're gonna do a randomizer, see who picks first, 12, and then go from there. But continuity is gonna be important, right? So like, I think last year, or not last year, it was like 3-4 years ago at this point. The person who had the most continuity was Jake, right? Yeah, Emu's not included. No Emu. I think about other characters not included. Just alive characters. Only alive. Wait. No. Anybody. All time. Anybody. All time. Emu's not allowed. Zabek's not allowed. No Gorosei. I'm conflicted on the God Knights, but I'll think about it. But yeah, Roger's allowed. But the thing is, you cannot last year, not last year. When we had it the last time, Jake had, I believe Jake had Luffy, he had Shanks, he had Sabo, he had Zoro. He had those four. Like Jake had those four characters because he picked 12th. And for whatever reason, Shanks made it to 12. So he had like, Ace and Shirahoshi as well, right? He had like a crazy team in regards to continuity. I think I had like Big Mom. I had Big Mom, Whitebeard, Aokiji. That was my big three because I had the second pick. And you know what? Y'all would never guess who was the first overall pick in an all-time One Piece draft. Wait, no. No. No, it was not Big Mom. So no. Jinbei was the first overall pick in the all-time One Piece draft. So Prime Beard fell into my lap, man. Prime Beard fell into my lap. I'm not gonna say who took it, man. But Jinbei went first overall. Prime Beard went second. Roger went third. And then it kind of fell in. Wait, no. I think Par took a nail pretty high because you get like the accessories that come with them. So he wanted the Arc Maxim. I think he had Vegapunk second. Par's trying big brain. I was like, you getting folded by this, Go take this shit. Take this earthquake, nigga. Arc Maxim my ass. But yeah, it was a great stream. So I was like, yeah, we got to bring it back. We got to bring it back for break week. Yeah. Par is hilarious. So yeah, gonna be about 12 of us, 10 to 12 of us, and we gonna draft a team. Again, continuity is gonna be important. Don't try to have Blackbeard and Ace on the same crew. Like story relationships are gonna matter, right? That's gonna be important. Sai could be interesting in that. Sai could be interesting. Just do all the Marines. All Marines. Well, the thing is, you got to think about like where you're drafting too, right? You can try to do all Marines, but that doesn't mean other people aren't going to draft Marines, right? And you got to think about like Akainu on a ship with pirates. How is that going to work out? Does it depend on the pirates? You may go all villains if you want to do that. Some people may avoid Marines because Marines is going to be on a ship together. So, Chico, chill on part. Don't relax. Don't do that. But no. But yeah, should be fun. Also, are scenarios just battles? No, it's not going to be just battles. They're going to be scenarios where it's not battles. So we're going to have scenarios that the crews are going to have to explain how do you undertake that. So should be fun. Jake, well, I know Jake had like the team with the most continuity. I remember that. I don't know how the hell Shanks made it to 12. How does Shanks make it to 12 in an all-time list at this point? With no Emu, no Zebek. I don't know. Who do I want my team to get tonight? If I had to pick, honestly, probably Tyler Warren. I would like my team to get weapons. Get some weapons. Maybe you draft a quarterback in the second round. But right now, the Saints aren't winning anything. So get weapons. Don't get a quarterback. Get weapons this year. Even if you draft a tight end in the first round and you draft like a running back in the second, you don't even need a running back, but you could do that. Just get some weapons. Get weapons, get young players, tank this year, and then try to see if you can get a quarterback next year. I know they just signed Jawan Johnson to a fairly decent deal, but I think Tyler Warren is a game changer. So I think in that offense with Olave, I think they'd go together really well. I think in a Kellen Moore offense, a lot of quick passes, screens. I wonder if Kellen Moore and his success with Jalen Hurts, if he could try to take a swing on Jalen Milroe in the second round or trading back into the first to get Jalen Milroe. Because I do think Jalen Milroe is, as far as the quarterbacks in this draft, has the best physical tools. Where if all the quarterbacks in this draft put it together, Jalen Milroe would have the highest ceiling, in my opinion. So like, why not take the shot, right? Why not take a shot on it and see what you have? I think Jalen Milroe is going to go first round. If I was a team, I'm drafting Miller higher than Dart, in my opinion. Like, I think Dart is cool. I think he can develop. But I think as far as the upside, Giants. Sawyer's a legend, Chico. Sawyer's a legend. I mean, Sawyer's one of the hardest people to reach. I promise y'all. Even behind the scenes, we've tried to get him for referees. And also DK, something I was thinking about was, think about the teams that play Lamar on a regular basis, right? The Browns, Bengals already got a QB, Steelers. If you're the Browns, you draft Travis at 2. I'm trading back into the first and trying to get Milroe. If I'm the Steelers, I'm taking Milroe at 21. You've dealt with Lamar this entire time. Try to figure it out. You've seen it. So, I don't know. I feel like right now, I personally think if Mike Tomlin don't win more than one playoff game this upcoming season, he's going to get fired. And a lot of the Steelers are an old team. You know what I'm saying? So, the Steelers want Sanders. Sanders would be good in that offense, right? I think Sanders would be good in that offense. They got DK, they got George Pickens. Now, that's some personalities, but I think he can handle it. I think he has the personality to handle DK, to handle George Pickens, and he's an accurate quarterback that can get him the ball. So, and he has a strong head coach to kind of deal with all those personalities. So it could work. I don't know if Sanders falls that far. 21 is crazy. But, damn, it's already this late, y'all. I gotta go, family. Damn. Damn, Shannon stepped down at ESPN. I didn't know that. That's crazy. Clippers Nuggets. Who I got tonight? Y'all. Hey, some of y'all know how I feel about Kawhi. I think, like, legitimately, if I was a coach and I was in charge of player development, Kawhi is a player I would have my my players watching, I'd have them watching Kawhi, because I think Kawhi is an example of somebody that built their skill. And I don't know what to do with Kawhi, because Kawhi, his peaks, the peak of Kawhi that I've seen is top 10 all time. Like when Kawhi is at his peak, he's top 10 and he's not towards the back half of top 10, right? I'm talking about if we had prime Kawhi with not as many injuries, he is over. This is going to sound crazy, right? This is going to sound crazy. But I think prime Kawhi, right? This is going to sound crazy. Prime Kawhi is probably better than Kobe. It sounds crazy, but like I think we gotta remember this, right? We gotta remember this. Kawhi is a bucket on offense, right? More efficient, right? More efficient, bigger, and a better defender. Now, it's not one game. Like, come on, bro. It's not one game. Come on, Billy. It's not one game. It's not one game. And this is the hypothetical that Kawhi in his prime could live in that world for like 5 to 10 years. He's not better than Kobe, right? Because Kobe did it consistently for damn near 2 decades. But I'm saying if you condense it, right? If you pull that prime version of him, how efficient he was, how good he was, how skilled he was, and defensively, I'm not gonna lie to y'all, right? I'm not gonna lie. Defensively, on ball, who's better? Bro, I've seen Kawhi do some shit defensively that I'm like, this is ridiculous. It is ridiculous. So, the Thunder is scary. The Thunder feel like the Celtics. They feel like the Celtics before the Celtics won a chip, where it's like they coming. They coming. The Celtics feels like they're like on the way. So I think the Thunder are legit. I'm not going to say dynasty, because every time you say dynasty, some shit happened, bro. Bro, niggas was just calling the Nuggets. It's like, man, the Nuggets, they won. They won so easily. Jokic, Michael Porter Jr., Jamal Murray. The Nuggets, they make. Like, we got to chill. Like I said, I think they're scary. They're scary. The Thunder is scary. Like right now, my favorite for the finals is the Thunder and Celtics. What, as a basketball fan, what I would love, I gotta get out of here. This is crazy. What I would love more than anything is Thunder and Cavs, because those are the two teams that I like watching play basketball the most. I love watching the Cavs play basketball a lot. Like, they score at all 3 levels. It's not just bombing threes. And of course for the Thunder, mid-range game, fast break, fast pace. I think both those teams match up so well, right? They match up so well. Cavs and Thunder it wouldn't be great for the ratings, right? But I think ultimately those teams, they score in a variety of ways that it feels like they're playing basketball. So I like watching them play. And I think it goes back to their stars, right? Where Donovan Mitchell, he operates in the mid-range, mid to close. Of course, Donovan Mitchell, he bombs threes. I think that's just like the NBA game, so they're going to take more threes. But I think because of how they operate, Garland, he gets to the bucket. Donovan Mitchell, mid-range, getting to the bucket. And J-Dub and Shea, they get to the bucket. Shea, you know, he operates in mid-range. I would love to see, but it'd be terrible for the ratings. Great on defense. Mobley and Chet. It will be really a basketball fan's dream, but it'd be a ratings nightmare. It would be a ratings nightmare. But it would be a great, great finals to watch. It would be a great finals to watch. But Pistons. I mean, I like Cade. I like Asar. I like man, Asar and Amen. Freaky. I'm gonna watch the World Cup for sure. Where I'm at with DBZ, I'm at like episode 15. Yeah, I'm at episode 15 with Dragon Ball Z. I don't know. I think it's fantastic. But listen, this chapter, no way Brago got Jinbei slander for days. No, bro. Nah, we not slandering Jinbei, man. Jinbei is like, he's the warlord, first son of the sea. Ain't no second. He's the first one. Ain't no others after him. So shout out to Jinbei, bro. But yeah, y'all, this stream went way longer than it was supposed to be. Or supposed to go. Bring Eric in and either his thoughts. Oh, gosh. Oh, gosh. But yeah, probably be on Twitch tonight watching the draft. We got like, what time the draft start? 8 o'clock? That's crazy. That's crazy. Y'all be safe. Have a good night. Again, like I said, decent chapter, still setting up. Good chapter, still setting up a lot going on, but all this is necessary. You know how it be. Radman, what's happening, brother? How you feeling, bro? Shout out to my guy, Radman, man. That's my guy. But I'm gonna be on Twitch in like an hour and a half, watching the drafts. Y'all can go over there, see me over there. You know what I'm saying? Probably pull some of the boys in. We can just chat, yap. You know what I'm saying? Chat and yap while we over there just talking. You know what I'm saying? Got the draft on in the background. You know what I'm saying? So I see y'all in like an hour and a half, 2 hours. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, we watch the draft while watching the football. But we got some good games on tonight. Yeah, bro. We gonna be over there. But yeah, y'all be safe. I'll see y'all later. All right.